What's up, my fellow gamers out there? Today we're going to take a look at one of my favorite horror games. This is Dead Space. Do you love space horror? I do. I don't mind books, movies, games, you name it, I love it. And lately I decided to play Dead Space again, as I played in around, I don't know, 2010, 2011, and I really enjoyed the game. And now I know that remake came out a few months ago, but I decided to play the original to see how it holds up. And it holds up very well. It is still terrifying. Why? It's really hard to say why, because there are very good jump scares, not overdone, but very good jump scares. The atmosphere is absolutely fantastic, and the silence, and there is silence aboard Ishimura, is just terrifying. And the whispers, can you hear it? Yeah. And the combat, and when you just make a complete slaughterhouse of the room where you are, and you just keep dismember the enemies. It's just absolutely fantastic. So, if you're ready, let's board the USS Ishimura. But only if you're brave. Let's go. If you consume a lot of space horror stuff, the beginning of the story will be very familiar to you. You play as Isaac Clarke, an engineer sent with a small crew to repair the USG Ishimura, a massive mining ship that's mysteriously gone dark. There is no radio contact, so it must be something wrong with the communication array or something like this. Well, it is a bit strange that there is no one aboard who could fix this issue. Okay, we've seen this before. There are very similar stories out there, but I still like it. The mystery is like, what could happen on board? Why everything is so quiet? Okay, it's just a repair mission. Nothing really serious. Maybe just a broken communication array. What we all know is never a communication array. There is something really shit going on aboard USM Ishimura. But eventually, after a bit of navigation error, you arrive, or more like you crash into the ship, and you step on board the USG Ishimura. Actually, I love the dock of Ishimura, the giant letters, the welcome video. It makes the ship a bit more alive. And oh boy, when I say alive, it is true, but not in the way we expect. And yes, very quickly realize that something is very wrong here. The crew is missing, the systems are offline, and the silence is suffocating. You start the exploration of the ship to puzzle together the pieces of what happened. I really love this part when you find this bloody writing on the wall. Look, cut off their limbs! It makes you wonder how this happened. The person who is lying on the floor used his own blood to write this message. And it doesn't take long before you find out what really happened on the ship. Minor spoilers incoming in case if you don't know the story so far, so if you don't want to know what happened, skip ahead a bit. Alright, so the Ishimura has been overrun by horrifying creatures called Necromorphs, corpses twisted and reanimated by the influence of an alien artifact known as the Marker. From there, the game becomes a fight for survival as you try to piece together the truth, repair the ship, and maybe, just maybe, make it out alive. What I really like in the combat of Dead Space is like how you have to kill the enemies. Forget about headshots, that doesn't work here. You literally have to dismember them. You have to just take them apart piece by piece, the legs, the arms, or whatever these monsters have. And it's, in a morbid way, it's very satisfying. And you just keep aiming. There is a limb. You shoot it, and this arm or this whatever is just grown out from it, just gone, and it's keep crawling, and you just aim and I love it. It's very cool. You need to aim very well, because even the basic enemies are dangerous if you panic. And because ammo is somewhat scarce, every bullet feels valuable. It's not about mowing down waves of enemies like in Doom, it's about surviving, scraping by, and trying to get to your next objective. And you have the perfect weapons for this job. Let me show you my favorite weapon. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let me introduce you the Ripper. A spinning blade which is hovering at a distance from you, and you can carefully navigate it from limb to limb. If a swarm of enemies are approaching you, you just do a moving stripe at the legs and you continue your work from there while you are listening to their screams, the metallic sound of the blade and the splashing sound of the internal organs. It is a gore fest. I love it. Just look at it. Damn. But I think the real star of this game is the atmosphere. Combat is good, story is okay, it's interesting, but the atmosphere, that's what makes this game really scary. But as I mentioned in the intro, there are jump scares. I'm not a fan of jump scares, but here it's executed very, very cleverly. There are a few and very well paced. It's not enough and overboard with the jump scares. Also, the silence. You just walk through a narrow hallway, distant mechanical sounds, and just sometimes it's just really loud screaming, and it's just, oh god, what happened? Or when you're just in an elevator and just traveling to a floor and you hear singing. It's very, very, very creepy, very, very disturbing, and it's very, very well executed. So I think what sets the game really apart is the atmosphere. It's scary in a very, very good way. Visually, even for 2008, the game nailed the look of a decaying industrial spaceship. The flickering lights, the bloodstained corridors, the feeling that something could burst from the shadow at any second, it all comes together to create a constant dread. And the good thing is that the dread and the terror is coming towards you in a perfect pace. There are jump scares, but very well placed, not overdone. What I really appreciate is how Dead Space balances things. It's not just combat all the time. There are slower sections where you are fixing machinery, upgrading your gear, navigating zero gravity areas, or managing oxygen in the vacuum of space. These moments give you just enough breathing room before throwing you back into the chaos. It keeps the tension high without ever feeling overwhelming, and it makes those big scares hit even harder. As you would expect, the game gets more intensive as you make your progress, and the scary atmosphere takes the backseat, gives way to the intense combat. So, should you play Dead Space? If you love survival horror, good survival horrors, yes, definitely, play Dead Space. And if you want a whole experience, make sure to watch Dead Space Downfall. This is an anime movie, and it's basically just the story sets before the game starts. So if you want the whole experience story-wise, I very much recommend to watch this movie as well. It's not long, it's 1.5 hours long, but it's very, very good, and it adds a lot to the story. So Dead Space, as I said, is a masterpiece. Very good combat, fantastic atmosphere, and a good story as well. And visuals, it still very much holds up. Nowadays, you have more options to play it. You can play the original 2008 version if you have a lower hardware PC or an older console. Or if you want to go with the newer version, the remaster, that's available as there. Both of them is a very good choice. The remaster has much more better visuals, but of course you need a better hardware for it. So, that's my take on Dead Space. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm going to see you in the next Backlog Quest video. Bye bye!